When I first started in the mortgage business, all you needed to become a top loan officer was to make hundreds of outbound cold calls and to send mailers to homeowners who can potentially refinance their high interest mortgage rate. But that strategy was exhausting and expensive and really doesn't work anymore. And those old ways that loan officers source business are quietly pushing more loan officers out of business. I coach some of the top loan officers in the world right now, and I've seen what separates the $10 million a year producers from the $50 million a year producers to the $100 million a year producers. And it's not what you might think. In today's video, I'll review how modern loan officers are winning the modern marketing and sales game regardless of experience, and how you can too. Most loan officers and salespeople in general believe trust starts at the first synchronous interaction, whether that's a live phone call, a Zoom meeting, or an in-person. But here's the problem. Trust built after the first live impressions are oftentimes made too late. That's the old back-end way. The game has changed. Realtors, for example, are exploring online. They're consuming information on platforms like Instagram and YouTube. And the loan officers that are still doing pop-bys with donuts and rate sheets to empty realtor offices will struggle. How do you win now? The modern loan advisor creates trust at scale through the power of their brand. You don't wait to do so once you meet a realtor in person or when a lead is referred to you. You show up so much in your target audience's world in advance that you begin to win more and more points of thought. When the need for a mortgage comes up, you should be the first person they think of. And you do that by delivering useful and timely information day in and day out. You can control your own marketing, messaging, and momentum. And there's never been a more affordable, scalable time in history to do that than now. The good thing is you don't need to go viral. You don't need to become the Gary Vee of content or some major social media influencer. You just need to be consistent and intentional about how you show up for the people who might need your services. So that being said, the first step is to pick your identity. This part's really important, so pay attention. Are you the VA loan expert for first-time military buyers? Or the investor deal master who can accurately analyze debt service coverage ratios for any investment property in minutes? Maybe you're the single mom homebuyer whisperer. Or you might be the condo king of your city. Or the new build specialist who knows everything about upcoming development. See, you can own any space, but you can't own all of them. Riches are absolutely in the niches. And side note, niche is really pronounced niche, but I digress. How do you choose? Look at the last 10 people you helped close on their transaction. What do they all have in common? What type of client did you enjoy working with the most? And who do you not enjoy working with the most? You might not know or love the niche you're in right now, and that's okay. Maybe you're attracting low quality leads because your marketing and sales skills isn't sharp yet, which causes insecurity to go after more quality referral partners. Or maybe you're landing high quality leads, but for loan programs you don't enjoy working on. Either way, the problem is in your market, it's your message and method. The good news, both are fixable. I encourage you to be more curious and to explore different niches. If you pick the wrong one, no big deal. You'll know within 90 days or so. You'll feel the friction. The right niche will feel like alignment. The wrong one will feel like a mask. And the sooner you pick something that's in your wheelhouse from a personal and company product alignment standpoint, even if it's imperfect, the sooner your audience starts remembering you. Let me clarify this a little bit more for you because it's important. Earlier in my career, I explored becoming the go-to lender for FHA 203K loans. But I realized I didn't really enjoy the complexity or the delays associated with renovation financing. So then I went deep into reverse mortgages, and I quickly realized that I didn't have the patience required for those. I even pursued a certified divorce lending professional designation to specialize in helping with divorcing clients and working with divorce attorneys. But the emotional heaviness of each situation wasn't something I enjoyed, and that's okay because, as the old saying goes, you have to study it to see if you like it, and then study it until you master it. That's why curiosity isn't optional, it's essential. For example, I have a close loan officer friend who's personally funded over $100 million a year for more than 10 years straight. And nearly 80% of his loans are physicians' loans. Why? Because his company has a really strong physician's loan product. He loves working with physicians and he knows how to speak to that demographic. That's the power of niche alignment. Product plus passion plus positioning. I eventually became one of the go-to loan officers in Chicago, my hometown, for first-time home buyers searching for owner-occupied 2 to 4 unit properties. Why? Because I had lived it myself. I haven't bought held, and sold multiple multi-unit properties in my career, and I know how to finance them in and out. On top of that, I genuinely geeked out over educating people looking to purchase 2 to 4 unit properties. They could feel my enthusiasm. I'd even analyze random 2 to 4 unit properties for them that were listed online in my free time and would send them breakdowns how that deal could work. That kind of passion is hard to fake and easy to trust. Too many loan officers want to be everything to everyone. I coach a loan officer right now who is a former registered nurse, and she's absolutely crushing it right now across the country with RNs. I have a loan officer right now who's also a high school football referee, who's part of a 300,000 member National Referee Association. I also know of another loan officer who's the #1 VA female lender in the country. And a lot of her business comes from YouTube. So once that's clear what your niche is, the next step is to pick the platform. Should you be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn? Here's how to choose. Facebook is always a great place to start because of Facebook groups. These groups are filled with niche communities like military spouses, local business owners, first-time buyers, investor forums, where you can literally join the virtual conversation immediately, thoughtfully, and start to post value-added, non-promotional content weekly, if not daily, so you can begin earning trust organically in that group. Simply type in the upper left-hand search bar on Facebook something like referee and then groups, and there's a high chance you'll see a bunch of large and active groups that appear. You'll be surprised how there's almost a group for everything. So jump in and start engaging thoughtfully daily so you can start adding those groups as members as your friends. Plus, the Facebook algorithm still favors relationship-based content over purely promotional posts, making it the ideal place to nurture connections and start building your local influence. I built a massive following of realtors nationwide on Facebook by joining many of the various Facebook realtor groups. So start there and start creating simple educational content and conversating the content of your target audience. In another video, I'll explain how to create an optimized Facebook profile as well, so when you start driving this traffic, eyeballs back to your profile, it'll leave all the visitors with a great impression of who you are. Let's talk Instagram. It's your fastest path to visibility. You can record short 30 to 60 second videos and post them up in minutes. You don't need fancy lighting, captions, or a full production setup. You just need your phone, Wi-Fi, a clear message, and some courage. Instagram also gives you a built-in feedback loop. People watch, like, share, comment, DM. It's perfect if you want to stay top of mind with your target audience. Now, let's talk LinkedIn. This is your authority platform. This is where you build your reputation as a business professional for serious business professionals, such as entrepreneurs, high-income professionals, C-suite executives, where you can potentially pitch your mass product, mortgages as a service, or attract referral partners like financial advisors and or divorce attorneys. You just need to be really good at short form copywriting because video is not as popular on LinkedIn, at least not yet. And then to engage the content of others thoughtfully and consistently, which I'll explain more in a few minutes. YouTube is the trust accelerator. It takes the most time and effort, but the payoff is huge. A good YouTube video builds leverage because it's the highest intent audience given its long form dynamic. People watch you for 5, 7, even 10 minutes. That kind of attention creates an invisible relationship. If you're comfortable on camera or willing to get better fast, this is your long game. One solid video a week can change your business in a year. Which one should you start with first? Ask yourself these 3 questions. 1, where do you already invest a lot of your time online? 2, what type of content do you naturally enjoy creating? Is it writing short videos, long form explanations? And 3, what kind of people are you trying to attract? Remember your avatar. Pick one platform to master. Post one piece of content once a week. Remember, you can always stretch and repurpose your content across other platforms later. But at the start, go all in one. Learn its language, study what works, and engage like it's your primary channel because it is. As I mentioned earlier, when I first started embracing social media, I began with Facebook, and I learned how to optimize my profile and create engaging content. I joined various realtor Facebook groups and started to become widely respected in a few of them through daily morning content drops and engagement. From there, I moved on to LinkedIn. I took a bunch of online courses how to best succeed on that platform, and then I practiced. One platform, one piece of content, posted once a week. You might be thinking right now, geez, I don't know what to post. Here's how to fix that forever. Step 1 is to go to Google and just type in, for example, the word mortgage. Let it autofill. Scroll to the bottom after you press enter and look at people also ask and related searches section. You'll find questions like, what credit score do I need for a mortgage? Is now a good time to buy a house? Or what's the best mortgage for first-time home buyers? Run with that. Or you can go to Reddit, search for terms like buying a house, mortgage advice, or home loan. You'll see real people asking real questions with zero filter. Or you can simply leverage AI by asking ChatGPT, hey, what are the top questions home buyers are asking right now? And lastly, capture your insight from your ongoing conversations. You can write down the top 20 questions you hear from your prospects, customers, and clients, the stuff they ask you during your interactions with them. Turn every one of those questions that you discover online or through your conversations into short form written pieces of content where you can post on Facebook and or LinkedIn. Try a 60-second video on Instagram or a 10-minute video on YouTube. If you're ambitious, post one answer a day. Do this for 90 days, every weekday. You'll never wonder what to post again. And your audience will start seeing you as the go-to expert. This is, by the way, the top piece of advice I give newly licensed loan officers who have a low level of confidence. I tell them to flood one platform with well-written educational content every day. Now, let's take a quick pause for a second. Yes, you are responsible for promoting you. People do business with people that are creative and consistent. Now, the last piece is to learn how to engage with your audience. This part most loan officers skip because it's where their front end trust gets built that we talked about at the onset of this video. Every time someone comments to your post, reply with something thoughtful. Ask a follow-up question. Invite them to DM you once a week. Post a poll or a question that invites engagement. It could be questions like, what's your biggest fear about buying a home? Would you buy now or wait for rates to drop? And I got a pro tip for you. Once you post your content, if you engage that content within an hour of it being posted, almost every platform's algorithm will push your content up and out even more in front of more eyeballs. Post, wait, then heart and comment on every commenter on your post, 30 to 60 minutes or so. I have been executing this exact strategy on LinkedIn consistently for the last 18 months. I'm about to hit 40,000 organic followers at the time of this recording. And to learn more about how they can bring loan officer coaching to their entire company. This is how you build an audience that talks back. And when they talk back, the algorithm pays attention. The moral of the story thus far is this. If you're waiting to be discovered, you're already behind. Get visible. Show up. Be the one that people gravitate towards before and after they need your services. Visibility is just as important as ability. Never forget that. And I'm even confident to say visibility is greater than ability. There are loan officers with less experience and knowledge than you, driving more leads and closings. But just showing up online isn't enough. Every time you post, DM, or comment, it can reek of desperation. That's the trap most loan officers fall into. They finally start posting, but every caption is a thin veiled pitch. If you're looking to buy or sell, call me at so-and-so number. Or send me a DM if you want to talk. It's too cheesy, too tacky. It's almost like handing a stack of your business cards at a realtor networking event in the bathroom. This is honestly the biggest mental hurdle most loan officers need to clear. Modern marketing isn't 1 + 1 = 2. There's a delay, a lag, a compounding effect. You won't see an instant one-for-one return, but over time, the right message builds trust, visibility, and inbound demand. Learn how to deliver real value in public without immediately asking for anything in return. That's the skill modern loan advisors master. They show up in public with a mission to educate and create goodwill. They create written or video content that breaks down complex topics such as what's the act. They create written or video content that breaks down complex topics such as what's the actual difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qualification. They answer questions that buyers didn't even know they had. They don't just explain it. They break it down with clarity using simple visuals, real numbers, quick stories. They explain complicated things in crayons. To be a great loan officer, you have to be a great people officer. To be a great loan advisor, you have to be a great teacher. Story sell well. They share the story of a first-time buyer with a low credit score who still closed, and they explain how. They walk through a scenario where rising mortgage rates actually save someone money long term. They show their thinking and expose their process in creative ways. And when people see how you think, they trust you to think for them. That trust becomes the bridge between content and conversion. You do, you share. It's that simple. So stop begging for business and start earning attention by building value for your audience in public. I'm not saying you should never ask. You should, but you don't win people by making a withdrawal without having sufficient funds. You win by giving so much value that they want to help you back. That's the difference between someone commoditizing you or ghosting you versus being someone who stands out and has an elevated reputation in the marketplace. And this is where the power of personal branded content can really deliver. Build a client readiness library. Think of this like your digital storefront, but instead of products, it's answers. This isn't for views, it's for conversion before the call, or otherwise known as a PCR. Pre-call resources. List out the 10 most common buyer hesitations, objections, and questions you hear in early conversations. But instead of framing them as content ideas, turn them into mini training modules like the exact math behind renting versus owning in 2025, or why FHA feels easier but might cost you more long term. How rising rates could actually protect your down payment. Then what you do is you publish these answers not as a one-off post, but as a pinned video library on your Instagram highlights, LinkedIn profile, or YouTube channel trailer section. Creating dedicated playlists on YouTube is even better. Now, instead of answering the same question 20 times on Loom or Zoom or email or text, you send a link and say, thanks for that question. Here's a 2-minute breakdown of exactly that. You show up as the expert before they even get a call with you. Sure, see, it's been proven that face-to-face selling greatly increases sales success. So these evergreen videos will continue to show your face, all while saving you time. From there, invest some time to build a simple follow-up system that keeps you top of mind so you can win every point of thought. Create a simple email newsletter that goes out bi-weekly and continues to educate your target audience. You can use tools like ConvertKit or Flowdesk to send these emails at regular intervals. And those platforms give you data like who's receiving your emails, opening your emails, going through your emails. It builds the belief, man, this person isn't trying to sell me. They're committed to equipping and empowering me to make sound financial decisions. But the key is you're no longer asking people to trust you. You're showing them that they already can. Literally flood them with sequenced value drops. And in another video, I'll show you how to create what are called lead magnets to help you capture your audience's email address by offering them a free how-to guide resource of some kind. If all this so far is making you rethink your strategy, good. That's the point of this channel. So if you want to keep learning, tap the subscribe button because every single week I'm committed to giving you guys gems on how modern loan advisors are 2xing, 5xing, 10xing their business. Now that you've started to create trust at scale by promoting yourself consistently, you will need to make it a habit. Most traditional LOs lose momentum due to poor time management. The key is first to sit down and design your desires. Take a minute to map out the minutes. I find being creative happens early in the morning and when the mind is ripe and fresh. We have to fill it with the right mental nutrients like scripture, if that's your thing. It is for me, or reading a personal development book or a business book. If your mind is full, you dump it into a journal. But it's going to be one of the two. When your mind is empty, fill it with great stuff. When it's full, dump it on a journal. But it's going to be one of the two every single morning. And having that early morning quiet thinking time will help you harness your creativity. Second, once you have used that time to also create your content, you can post that content and begin to engage it during a time I call screen-to-screen selling. It's where you sell with your fingers, as I like to say, a 30 to 60 minute time block where you've posted the content that you prepared earlier in the morning, and now you start to heart and comment thoughtfully on that post and at least of 10 other people to drive traffic back to your profile. From there, you should shut off social entirely from your desktop and phone, meaning no notifications, and to get an hour of what is called voice-to-voice selling. This is where you sell with your mouth. 10 plus quality conversations, preferably themed out by business category every single weekday. For example, Mondays, financial advisors. Tuesdays, listing agents on all your deals in the pipeline. Wednesdays, pre-apps. Thursdays, the closed database starting with everyone that just closed the past 7 days. And then Friday is for realtors. Ideally, these are not done at your desk. It's important to change your habitat when it comes to phone prospecting. I have a mini separate station for these outbound calls because if I'm at my normal desk, I will make every excuse to check my email, loan origination software, CRM, CNN. You get the point. Bunker down, go into your car if need be. Make your calls from there. After you've had your screen-to-screen selling, after you've had your voice-to-voice voice selling, and these things are blocked off, you need to have a time block of no appointments. Literally, it says no appointments. This is when you catch up on files, emails, messages, etc. And then you should be off to a 1 p.m. in-person networking appointment with the travel time blocked off as well. This is where you're selling with your feet. After that, you head back to the office and execute all your point of sale borrower meetings, your initial loan consultations, rate lock consultations, annual mortgage consultations, and so on. Yes, those are time blocked, by appointment only, 30 to 45 minute slots. You start from the mid to late afternoon and work up. Fill up your schedule backwards. Will you have some days where this time blocking will burst? Absolutely. But anything not time blocked will get filled with busyness. You have to be directed by your calendar, where to be, what to do, when to do it. And you do that for 3 months. Watch the traction you get. Your ultimate goal is to bust your ass to generate 30 plus high quality leads a month, 3 months in a row, resulting in 5 plus closings a month so you can hire your first assistant. Otherwise, you're going to have roller coaster months and you're going to burn out, and or it's going to negatively affect your personal life. Most entrepreneurs are late to hire, and when it's time to hire, it's too late. You're the bottleneck. You're losing leads in your inbox, and it's costing you money, sleep, momentum. This is why the top producing modern loan advisors build teams before they hit that pain line. They delegate those LVTs, low value tasks. They can live where it matters the most in those HVTs, high value tasks, like screen to screen selling, voice to voice selling, in-person selling. You need to build a front-loaded personal production team to scale volume and improve service quality, all while living a life of harmony. Start with 3 key roles. First is going to be your loan partner 2. After you have your loan partner 3, which is a processor. This is your technical sidekick. This person is typically a former loan processor or underwriter with a personality that handles your pre-approvals, manages your pipeline, and worst case, can handle any of your loan consultations if you're sick, out of town, or whatever. They're essentially your second brain for all the technical side of your business. Whether you're doing the prospecting, sales, relationship building work, or you're doing the promotion, marketing stuff on camera, you're at events, whatever it might be, your loan partner 2 is doing the loans. You're a loan getter, they're a loan doer. A great loan partner 2 will 2x your business in 90 days. If you feel the time saved with hiring that person by putting it back in those HVTs, promoting, prospecting. Now, this person should be on shore, not offshore or near shore, and they can work off-site. And once you start closing 8 to 10 loans consistently, then you're going to need to consider hiring a loan partner 1. This person will take repeatable friction tasks off your plate. These include onboarding new leads, confirming appointments, managing your inbox, tagging leads in your CRM, and any other admin tasks. Nothing shocks me more when a loan officer has been in the business for 5 years or 10 years, and they're closing over 100 loans a year, and they're still checking their own emails. They're still the first point of contact when new leads come in. They're still working weekends to update pre-approval letters. I mean, it's a disgrace. Come on, man. A great LP1 will immediately save you 20 hours a week. But more importantly, it gives you back energy. When a new lead comes in, they greet the lead, triage the lead, and appoint the lead while updating your referral partner. When a lead gets a reply within 10 minutes, even a templated one, it makes you look like you're running a professional business. And it eliminates all the mental drag of you having to memorize and remember where all these leads are at. That is the team setup. But it only works if the roles are structured the right way. And that's why you have to sit down and put together a borrower journey map. It's a visual representation of how your business flows from lead to loan. You break it into 6 clear stages. What happens when a new lead comes in? What happens at the initial loan consultation? What happens when the borrower is under contract? What happens when the borrower gets a clear to close? What happens in the post-closing forever follow-up system? That's a true lead to layout, to lock, to loan, to loyalty map. This is how the top modern loan advisors and entrepreneurs scale and scale and scale. They're taking full ownership of their personal brand by creating targeted and intentional content. Then they learn how to protect their time and their priorities by time blocking everything and living a life by design. From there, as their business starts to grow, from their discipline of time, from their commitment to promotion and prospecting, marketing and sales, they learn how to go recruit, hire, train, develop, and multiply A+ players on their team that fully have a documented system and processes of how they take care of a borrower from the moment they enter your front door. So just remember, you didn't start this business to work nights and weekends doing admin work. You started for freedom and growth, but that only happens when your systems stop depending on you to run. At this point, you got two options. You can keep convincing yourself that working harder, chasing referrals, attending lukewarm networking events will somehow get you ahead in a market that's already leaving you behind, potentially. Or you can decide right now, right here, to step into that top 1% mindset, right? To start dominating your market and future-proofing yourself. I've coached over 1,000+ loan officers through my time at Go Coaching. Or you can decide right now, right here, to step into the strategy that the top 1% are using to dominate the market. So we will share with you how to lead, how to hire, how to build systems, processes, and how to grow in a way that doesn't burn you out. And it starts with one call. Tap the link on your screen right now to free strategy session. We'll walk through your business, your roadblocks, and we'll help you figure out whether our coaching community is the right fit for you right now. So if you're tired of guessing and you're ready to go, schedule your strategy call right now.